Okay, NRW Crew, Broncos Country. It has been exactly 4 days since we last talked. And yet again, and somehow, here we are, another game day, only 4 days later. Broncos dropped it against the Las Vegas Raiders, handing the Raiders their first win of the season. Can they redeem themselves on Thursday Night Football primetime in front of the nation at home against the Colts? I think they can, guys. Let's get ready. This is the Get Bucked Game Day Show.
Broncos Country, let's ride.
What is up, Broncos Country, NRW Crew? It is game day. Second time in 4 days. It sucks for the players. I know it does. I know it absolutely sucks for them having that quick of a turnaround, but for us as the fans, it's kind of fun. So, hey, I'm super pumped to be here. I'm Johnny Baki, your host for today's episode of Get Bucked Game Day Show. With me, as always, my cousin, my childhood best friend, my co-host, Jay Dreamweaver Weaver. What's up, cuz?
Oh, dude, I am so happy for game day. I am so ready to wash the horrible taste of a Raiders loss out of my mouth. And what better place than a Thursday night prime time? Well, I'm excited for tonight.
Listerine helps too, Jay.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm so excited, man. We've had some bad news since that game. It seems like it's been all bad news. Yeah, so I'm ready for good news.
Yeah, it really does suck, man. But we'll get there. We will get there. Broncos Country, thank you for joining us today on the Get Bucked Game Day Show. Do not forget to catch our other shows on Thursdays, normally, not today because of the game. We have the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, the OG show on our network. Then that's at 7654 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Then after every game, so this evening, late tonight, you're going to have the Buck Your Feelings post-game show, where we come in to buck our feelings, good or bad, right after the game, get them out there, and we can move on with our lives after the game. Jay, would you, master of merch, would you please?
Absolutely, sir. We've got a fantastic array of face coverings today, and I'll tell you why I'm bringing out the face coverings. Normally I wouldn't, but the Colts are going to need something to cover their face after this game. We are going to get all up in it, and we are going to slam it down. Super excited. We obviously got the main stake designs here, Mile High Five. We got it all going, so I like it a lot. Ooh, by the way, you see this little guy right here? Only 4 days left of 15% off everything. Where's those air horns?
Where's those air horns? Hang on. 50% off everything.
Ding, 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 ding. Absolutely.
There you go.
And you know what? If you're the kind of guy that needs, the oat milk, the tofu, all those things, we got some organic products as well. Comes straight from the ground, I think. So here you go. There's a bunch here. Do with it what you please. But it's all there. It's all there. So super excited about tonight. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Feeling the vibes. Been on Broncos Twitter. Looks like people are ready to go and happy. Tailgates are going nuts. I think Broncos Country's ready for a dub tonight.
Absolutely. One last thing, guys. I didn't say it before. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share us out there. Come on, guys. It takes 1 second to send that share to a fellow Broncos fan. Build the family. Also, comment. Get in the comment stream, guys. That way we are conversing with more than just the two of us. Because if you're in the comment stream, we've got your opinions, we've got your thoughts, and we're able to interact with you. Let's do it. All right? That's all I'm going to, and in the words of the great Forrest Gump, that's all I'm going to say about that. So, anyway, you're right, Jay. Twitter has been blowing up all day. And I think everybody kind of gets the feeling like Broncos are going to get some revenge today. Like, They're not revenge against the Colts. It's not against the Colts. Like, the Colts, let's be honest, as of right now, the Colts haven't wronged us.
True.
It's not about revenge against the Colts. It's about revenge for losing another game that we should have won.
Yep.
And not only a conference game, but a division game.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
stings extra hard.
It does, and unfortunately, I think the Colts are going to bear the brunt of the pain.
They will.
From like our team, they're fired up. Two of their best guys are hurt, and let's rephrase that. Two more of their best guys are hurt. These guys are. I truly believe that from this moment, they're right now they're on fire. So.
No, it's true. It's true. So, one other, I guess, perspective going into this game, it's always nice. I don't know the exact stat, but road teams coming into a Thursday night game are always somewhat at a disadvantage. Couple that with going into altitude for the Colts as well. I mean, it's shaping up to be a really good game. You also have it on the backside of it that this is almost kind of going into a mini bye for Denver as we, seriously have quite a bit of days. Yeah, that's a lot of days off.
Yes,
so get regrouped coming out of this. If we can be over 500,
win for that to matter.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I mean, and I don't know if you listen much this week to interviews and stuff, but one thing that's going to make this hard, and it's hard on both teams. I mean, you're right. It's going to be harder on the Colts, being that they have a 4-day turnaround coming off of a loss, just like the Broncos, but they're on the road. The Broncos have the home field advantage. So we get that leg up on them. Now, listening this week to some interviews, or a good Broncos great who lost a ton of weight, by the way, Orlando Franklin.
Oh yeah, he's like half of a person.
Yeah, he's half of who he used to be, physically, but looking great. Huge shout out to Orlando Franklin. He looks great. He and Steve Atwater were talking earlier this week about those Thursday night games. Now, Atwater, of course, mentioned that he had never played in a Thursday night game. It didn't exist back when he was playing.
Yep.
But Orlando Franklin said he played in one every single year of his NFL career. And he said they suck. He said it's a nightmare. He literally used the word nightmare because you got all these guys, they're all beat up, they're all bruised from that previous game. They get out there on the field. He said on the practice field, the first string offense and defense don't even see each other over those days. The offense is on one practice field, the defense is on another. They're playing against the scout teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're all none of them are padded up because because they've got such a short turnaround. They're still recovering, so they're all rocking hats and shorts.
Yeah,
instead of helmets and pads, no shells, and then they march into a game just a few days removed from getting the tar
destroyed, embarrassed. We think we took a bad loss. That's a bad loss for them. Woof.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. We already have Dave Glassman. He's in the house as always. It's good to see our buddy Dave Glassman. He says game day indeed. # redemption. And then Shadow Jacker is just, as always, another one that's just always in the house. We love you, Shadow. It's so good to see you. Which side of the ball will be better, defense or offense? Ooh, that's an excellent question. Jay, you want to field this one first?
Boy, what's going to be... I think the defense is going to come to play. So defense takes it very personal when they get beat in the trenches. And we got run over last game. Run over. So I just have a sneaking suspicion that our defense is going to come in wanting to make a statement. Matt Ryan is a shell of himself. He's just going to stand in the pocket like a scarecrow, ready to be hit. And we'll get into it, what that actually means. But it's going to be a big game for the defense. I feel like some turnovers coming our way. I feel like the pressure's going to be on. That defense is going to be flying around tonight.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the I'm sorry, guys. I'm starving. So I'm going to be piecing a little bit as we're talking here today. Granted, I will still have a game day menu for the game itself, but I've got a little snack right here to hold me over until game time. I'm going to take the opposite path on this one. I mean, granted, I think the defense is going to come to play, but after what we saw, at least in the first half against the Raiders, this offense is truly starting to cook. And I think Melvin Gordon, God bless him, he had his struggles. He's had his struggles. You know me, ever the optimist, eternal optimist. I think
sometimes to your detriment.
Sometimes, but I still believe that I'm right about this. I still think right now I think he's got it's all up in his own head. He's up here, and I'm sure this week he probably sat down, he talked to someone, hopefully a sports psychologist, help him get out of his head a little bit. And yes, for those that don't know, those do exist, and they are very important for athletes. Hopefully he sat down with a sports psychologist a little bit this week who could talk him down, get him out of his own head a little bit.
Yep.
Because now he is our bell cow at running back. Now, who did we sign?
Latavius Murray.
That's right. We signed Latavius Murray, 9-year veteran. Brings a lot of leadership. What is he? 3-time, 4-time Pro Bowler?
Yeah, I think 2-time, something like that.
Okay, so 9 seasons, 2 Pro Bowls. He's a leader. He brings leadership to the locker room. It's going to be interesting to see because he and Melvin Gordon are very close and very
similar backs.
Yeah,
they're
very
huge.
Similar backs. But at least knowing that, with both of them having as many years in the league as they both do, being vested veterans the way that they are, maybe by splitting the carries between the two of them, we can keep both of them healthy.
Sure. In a long-term sense, yes.
I mean, and yes, we poached him off of the Saints practice squad, but he was elevated to the active roster on the Saints for last week's game against the Vikings, and he looked great. I went back and because I knew we were getting him, I went back and watched some tape of him against the Vikings. The Vikings are no slouch on defense.
Sure.
And he looked great.
He did.
So it's still a bit of a change in the system, but if he
and that's why he's not active tonight. I mean, there's a lot of factors going against him right now, but
I'm very excited to see him come on board. It means tonight we're going to be seeing split reps likely between Melvin Gordon and Mike Boone.
And Zigbo is.
That's right. We called up Divino Zigbo. I forgot.
We might see a couple carries out of him. Boy, Mike Boone sure disappointed last week, so I don't know how much he's going to get.
We'll see. Well, I mean, hopefully we don't see him take too many passes.
Yeah,
that's where he really disappointed, was in the passing game. I want to see him run. He's a running back. Keep him on the ground. But digressing, going back to Shadow Jacker's question here, which side of the ball will be better, defense or offense? I say offense. Russ cooked. and I mean really cooked. I mean, like against the Raiders this last Sunday, he went 17 for 25 on passing, for 68% completion rating, 237 yards in the 237 yards in the air, averaging 9.5 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns plus the one that he scrambled in for.
Yeah.
He took 3 sacks, but that's vintage Russell Wilson. And his overall quarterback rating was literally 1/10 of a point shy of 125. He cooked big time.
He did very well.
He did. And, Cortland Sutton is good. Jerry Jeudy's good. Hamler had that 55-yard catch. He's got all them weapons. Now maybe we can start rolling some tight ends into the equation.
If anything, that will just put that on tape. So opponents will have to respect that that's going to happen eventually. Yes. I mean, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really recall any sky balls like that thus far in the season until that point.
It was fun. Well, he had attempted a few. There was that one, I think it was a 27-yard to Jeudy along the left sideline, which was great. But that was the first moon ball that we have seen. Yeah. We've seen him throw a few, but that was the first one that we got a reception on.
Sure. No, that's a big deal in itself, I think. And I think you're right. The offense is going to have to shine tonight. And
absolutely.
The Colts, for everything they are, and they're a mediocre team, I think their record shows that.
They're middling.
Their defense is pretty good.
They're middling.
Yeah. I believe they're number 6 in the NFL for yards against as far as their defense, number 6 in the NFL in rush defense, and number 10 in pass defense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not a bad defense. They don't create turnovers, really. Their captain, their best defensive player is out tonight. And we'll get to that when we talk about injury report. But, I mean, that's a big, big loss for them.
I see another great question here by Shadow Jacker, and I see that there's more than just Shadow Jacker in the room right now. So, guys, jump in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going.
For sure.
Right? Shadow asks another question. He says, do we unleash Draymond tonight? We have to. We have to.
Well, one thing to that, I think Draymond's actually going to be pretty much erased tonight, and I'll tell you why. Quentin Nelson is a future Hall of Fame guard who is going to be over him, and he's not going to leave Draymond's side. I think it's going to be a big game on the outside for us, maybe not necessarily inside, because their interior offensive line is way better than their exterior. Their tackles are not that great.
No, not really.
Might be a quieter night for Draymond, but he also is a ridiculous football player. So Quentin Nelson's great and everything, but like Draymond can do what he wants when he wants against anyone.
And hopefully he does, because here's where I'm going to talk right now real quick. I'm going to bring in excuse me. I'm holding back a sneeze. I'm going to bring it up. Yeah. Right. Whew. Oh, give me a second. That's
get a little pepper on that sausage. Well, that's a spicy meatball.
That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah! Holy guacamole.
Anyway. Whew. All right. I think I'm good. I'm sorry about that, everybody. So
deep breaths, deep breaths,
yeah.
Deep breaths.
Will somebody get the kid a Happy Meal?
Thank you. All right. So getting back to it.
All right, you said you were going to talk.
I'm going to talk about it now that I'm not dying over here. In addition to the inactives that we will go over later, we lost 2 very important players to this team on Sunday. And oh my God, it couldn't be any worse losing these 2 guys. Obviously the big one is Javonte Williams. Like, that's the one that hurts more than anything, because it kind of leaves our running back room in limbo right now. Because right now, let's just be honest, the fan base doesn't have a whole lot of faith in Mr. Melvin Gordon right now.
It's gonna be a polarizing night either way, positive or negative.
We've already said it. By the way, can you remove your share screen there so that in a minute I can bring up inactives?
Absolutely.
Thank you, my friend. All right, so basically we absolutely must have Melvin Gordon and the running back step up.
Yep.
They have to. And I'm sorry about the lighting here, guys. I'm in my in-laws, office room, and they don't have the best lighting situation, and I don't have the best ring light with me. So I'm doing the best with what I got. That's why I've got a green screen and a background.
Shadow Jack is doing it. Bring forth the dark side, just like Draymond Jones.
Wow,
We're all going here.
Very nice.
Here we go.
But anyway, they need to step up. Now, what I was really getting to is you talked about, when you brought up Draymond Jones. We need the pass rush, both interior and on the exterior, to step up in light of we lost Randy Gregory as well.
Yes, massive loss.
Now, granted, he is not out for the season like Javonte Williams is, but he is on injured reserve, which means missing a minimum of 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But likely longer. I mean, he's going to go through an arthroscopic procedure to clean up some scar tissue on his knee. That isn't terribly invasive, but it's still a slog back in recovery. And so we could see him between 8 and 10 weeks. But right now,
thankfully, we're deep there.
I'm
so thankful we're deep there.
But we're also unproven there, aside from Bradley Chubb. We're deep when it comes to Nick Bonito. We're deep when it comes to Baron Browning. But those guys are still unproven. They're still pretty unproven commodities in the grand scheme.
I'd gladly trade that 6th round pick for Malik Reed right now.
Yeah, right about now I'd take Malik Reed back. I mean, come on, man.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we're doing the best we got with what we got, and we need those guys. We need all of those guys, not just the one that's going to step up to be like the starter, in lieu of Randy Gregory. We need all of them to step up, and get some great plays, guys. Again, there are a lot of people in this room. I'm not seeing any comments, guys. That's I hate pushing, beating this drum, but the more you comment, the more we can talk about, because there's a lot of thoughts that you guys, as our viewers, come up with that we don't necessarily think of to talk about. You guys can help us carry the conversation. Come on, guys, get in the comments. Help us out. If it's just something small.
Let me say something on the pass rush real quick.
Okay, please do.
With the replacements going in here for Randy Gregory, and just from a schematic standpoint, all preseason we heard Baron Browning in that bend, how big it was for him to move to the outside from the inside, and what impact he had. I'm looking for him to be by far the mover and the shaker of this defense moving forward from a pass rush standpoint. Bradley Chubb's great. Bradley Chubb is a beast, but he's not a freak of nature when it comes to speed rush. He's more of a power rush.
He's definitely a power rusher. Now, the one question, I think I may not have seen this. I've been looking. Do we know who is starting in place? I mean, granted, starters, especially at the edge rush position, don't necessarily matter because you're gonna rotate anyway. But who is starting in light of?
I would think it would have to be Baron Browning, because it's not like you're throwing Nick Bonito out as a starter.
Probably
he hasn't had any snaps hardly.
Yeah.
And to that, I honestly hadn't heard anyone being called up from practice squad for pass rush either. I can't even think of who would be on there, but
it would be Jonathan Cooper, but
he was injured.
He is injured. He is inactive, actually.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
We're deep and now we're thin as we talk through it.
I mean, obviously, between us two cousins, you are already thin, and I'm not.
That's okay. We even ourselves out. We find some middle ground between us, right? Between us.
Yeah, right. There's not much of it because I take up a lot of that space.
That's okay.
All right. So, Shadow, another question or another comment question by Shadow says, tonight will QB pressure? What will happen first? A pick six, strip sack, fumble by recovery by Denver, and by whom?
It's going to be a strip sack fumble.
I believe so. Yeah.
And Matt Ryan is the perfect quarterback to get something like that, because, like I said, he's a scarecrow. He just stands there. He ain't going to move at all.
Well, I mean,
and he holds the ball for a long time.
At this point, the guy is getting old, and he can't move. There was a time in his career he could move. He could move, but he is not that. He is way past that. In fact, I mean, a lot of people were very surprised that he did not retire this year. Oh,
was
even
surprised.
last year when Drew Brees retired and
Mm-hmm.
and all of them. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger retired this year, and you're like, Matt Ryan is still in the NFL. It kind of shocking. So
Yeah.
what the? Yeah. So I mean, let's see. Shadow says 9 fumbles, bro. Wow.
We'll get into the exact situation at their running back position, but let's just say neither of their running backs have any sort of history with great picking up the pass rush at all. So I just have a feeling we're going to have some really good pressure on the outside tonight, and that forces turnovers, whether it be a pick six or an interception or a strip sack fumble. The turnovers are going to come tonight. I truly believe that, as long as they continue to do what they have done thus far in this season.
They need to, because that's what we need to win this game.
Correct. And surprisingly, even with Jonathan Taylor thus far, they haven't been a very good running team.
They haven't.
No, not at all.
Surprising, considering he was the number 1 running back in the NFL last season.
Well, and considering Quentin Nelson is a stud, but
yeah.
It's a grouping. It's a team. It's not an individual when it comes to an offensive line. It's a unit.
Yeah.
So you can't run. I believe Quentin Nelson is on the left side in Dalton Reisner's spot, but I think you can't run to that side every single time.
No.
I kind of feel like they do similar things than us as far as favoring one side compared to the other. But it's really easy to sniff out.
In a game, absolutely. They do. I mean, we do that. You can see it, for whatever reason, we're going to take it to the right all game. And then the next game, we're all taking it all to the left. And I'm like, Can we just mix this up a little?
But the only way to stop defenses from, stacking that side is to bootleg, is to play action. And sadly, Matt Ryan can't move. So that's not going to happen. Thankfully, we got a guy that's his expertise. Yeah. So here we go. Let's roll. I'm super excited for both offense and defense tonight. I know that, and we'll get into this too. The line's only 3 points. So that's relatively small. So most people are looking at this somewhat as a pick'em game. But I could totally see Denver getting a lead and keeping it. And I hope that's the case. I'm right on that, because that'll activate our pass rush even more.
Well, I mean, and we're currently -1. Yeah, we're favored to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
The money line is on the money line. We're under 170. The Colts are over 143. So it feels pretty good.
It does, and it's a relatively low number for over/under. I believe it's 42.
Yeah.
Which is relatively pretty low.
And we're gonna get into all of our bets and everything here in a little bit too.
Yep.
Let's see. I hate to put this out there either, but if Melvin, fumbles, what's the next move for the team?
Dude,
right now, honestly, nothing. Melvin is here. Melvin will stay.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds sad, and the thing is, another thing that I always say is we got to remember that these are human beings.
Yeah.
And I was really hard on him the other night on the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. I was really hard on Melvin, about walking off the podium during his press conference. But then I went back and watched it, and that was only because I hadn't watched it yet. I'd only seen the quick snippet of that walk-off. And at the time, while we were live, while we were talking, I was reminded very strongly of that childish walk-off by Cam Newton a few years ago.
Super Bowl 50?
Yep. And it was just disgusting, and I was disgusted by it then. And so it kind of reminded me of that at the time. But then I went back this week and I watched that press conference by Melvin. And it wasn't a child throwing a temper tantrum kind of walk-off the more I saw it. It was I care way more than people think I do about this team. I care way more about winning these games for our fans than people think, people realize. Yeah. And I realized that I screwed up. And I just feel terrible about it.
Sure.
So I stopped looking at it like a child one of my children, which by the way, my children have been little terrorists this week. I mean, I swear, Hiroshima was kinder than my kids have been this week. It's been a nightmare.
Well, and to be fair, I watched that press conference as well after the fact, and I definitely got a different feeling after the fact that I did initially too. Same thing as you. To be fair, that was the third question that was the same question over and over and over again. I believe it was Mace that asked the last one, and he changed the wording.
It wasn't Mace. That wasn't Mace's voice. I can't remember who it was. Mace asked it. Mace was the second question that asked, and I think it might have been maybe Cody. I can't remember, but
maybe
whomever it was that asked that final question. You're right. It was kind of the third.
Yeah, like okay, dude, we've got it. Like,
but I mean, what they did bring up was how he had said earlier in the week, and I think that's where it really hit him the hardest. Was he said earlier in the week, I've been doing extra drills for ball control and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's the most important thing right now for me. And then he got out there on his first carry and fumbled the ball. And again, that I think that's a pretty sure sign of that, a mental block.
It's a mental thing. It totally is.
And so when they brought up the fact that he had mentioned that earlier in the week, that was kind of like painful for him. He's like, I know, this is what I said to you. And I meant it, and I still mean it, but right now I just look bad. And he'll get there. He's been an amazing running back during his career, and he still is. He's just gotta figure some Shermer out.
The specifics elude me here, but the narrative was that a majority of all of the fumbling issues that Melvin Gordon has had in his career was when he was placed as the second fiddle in a shared back room. So when he has been the primary back, getting the bulk of the carries, that is not when he fumbles. He fumbles when he's second going in cold. And that's an interesting thing to think about because as a running back, you kind of need to get knocked around.
Where did you see that? Because I hadn't even thought about that.
That was the fan. I want to say that was Zach By. Zach By. It was also in the same breath of conversation when he pulled audio from
Zach By. I
love Zach
great
By.
Lines, and I love that.
Yeah,
guy.
And also, quick, just side here. Shout out to Derek Wolf joining the Broncos media alumni here. I'm super excited to hear Derek Wolf's perspective on a lot of things. He replaces Tyler Columbus on the drive. Derek Wolf speaks the truth. He don't care. He's got zero political correctness to him. So sure. I'm excited to hear what comes out of his mouth some days.
Oh, I love it. I mean, when he came on during training camp, when he sat down with Steve Atwater up in the booth overlooking training camp live, the amount of curse words that kept popping out of his mouth, and then "Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry."
Yep.
It was hysterical.
Yep. Needless to say, he's going to tell D-Mac to shut the hell up a lot, and we all will thank him for that. So.
Yes, we will. D-Rock Shadowjacker does ask for Melvin Gordon, is it mental or is it ego? I don't think it's ego. I mean, I would have preseason going into this season. I absolutely thought so because I heard his interviews on the 1,000 podcasts he went on, and he just was me. He's a very, very big me person. He is, but I've started to get the feeling that it's more about the team. I mean,
yep.
Especially when he had that one press conference where he was asked about how he felt about playing second fiddle to Javonte.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, the coaches have a plan. I'm part of that plan. And I'm going to be there to support my teammate and do what I can to help us win these games.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not that was just him pandering to the media or doing saying what is expected of him to say in that situation, I would still say it showed a lot more of, hey, I realize I'm on the back leg of my career. I realize that this could be my last chance to make some money and to be on a team and to continue to do what I love. It humbled him, I think. I think he's been humbled, and now we can see a side of him that is less me and more everyone else. So.
And specifically for tonight, it can't not make him feel a little bit better looking on the other sideline at Mr. Philip Lindsay and saying to himself, "What up, dude? Guess what? They picked me. Here I am in a Broncos uniform. There you are in a Colts uniform. I won the battle." Like, it's got to give him a little bit of swag to him.
I still find that painful because I love Phil.
Well, hey, I'm the same way. I wanted Philip Lindsay over Melvin Gordon all day long, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But, that's not reality that it is. And it's all good.
For me, it was honestly just because of the story. It was a good story.
It was. I love it.
So, I mean, it was great. We got, Shadow disagrees with us. He says, bussing with the boys kind of made me feel like ego.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't disagree.
It could
There's
be
a little bit of both.
I truly believe he just felt bad. I mean, no matter what it was, and whatever.
Yep.
He's got to get out of his head. That's all. That's
true.
all that matters. And I mean, in that fumble, I just want to talk. This is the last. I want to discuss that fumble tonight. but I mean, I said it the other night on Buck Your Feelings. That fumble was inexcusable because unlike his previous fumbles in the last few games where it was, the ball got hit, he got punched out, whatever. This one, it looked like he squeezed the ball so hard it popped out of his arm.
Yeah. Super weird.
You know what I mean? It was like he goes back and then squeezes and the ball goes like toothpaste out of a tube.
Yeah.
Right into the arms of Robertson. It was painful. It sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and the other thing Isaiah and I talked about it on on the Buck Your Feelings post game. He has got to start wrapping that ball up. He talks about ball security, dude. Both
high
on
and tight.
I get that there are running backs like Derrick Henry or in the past Marshawn Lynch that can run the ball very effectively, one arm in it. But the definition of insanity, I love this, is doing something over and over, expecting different results. And if you continue to fumble the ball when you're carrying one armed, you better be wrapping that ball up two arms. You're obviously not the guy to be successful as a one-arm ball carrier. So, come on, man. Both arms.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not on the field. I'm not his daddy. I'm not his coach. I was good, but I wasn't good enough to make it to the NFL. So, hey, here I am. But I played in the back, the offensive backfield. I played in the offensive backfield. And so, as that is where I come from, I'm saying two arms. Wrap that ball up. You literally double your chances of holding onto the ball when you use your other arm.
50% sources confirm.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. I like that. Now, let's get off the Melvin Gordon and the fumble train.
Yeah.
We have, hang on. What is this? Deaky Sport. If you want to come in for conversation, that's fine. We don't allow self-promotion for streams and things like that in here. I'm going to remove that comment. And if you want to continue in here as a commenter, bringing some conversation, that's fine. Otherwise,
he also has the wrong day of the week. Yeah, it's not Friday.
Yeah, you will be kicked if I see that again. Okay. Now, our boy, not today, Satan. And not that we're calling Deaky, not that we're calling you Satan. We're just, anyway. Our buddy over at Rocky Mountain Sports Network, Matt Staffiero. Let's go Broncos. Worried about the edge opposite of Chubb. Browning and Benito looking at a lot of reps tonight. Yes, they are, but I think they're ready for it.
Dude, I'm so excited for Baron Browning. I think this is Baron Browning's coming out party.
You know what?
I want to see that bend. I want to see the flash. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, dude.
But I'm just as excited about Nick Benito. I think he's got some issues setting the edge in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Scares me a little bit.
Benito is. I mean, he's not a big guy. He's a pretty lanky, but small guy.
His get off.
Yeah,
he's got speed. Yeah. And I want to see him. I want to see him get his first NFL sack tonight. I want to see him hit Matt Ryan, have that moment where he can just jump and throw his arms and get just pumped and excited, and then it's out of the way for him.
Yeah.
And now he can just play, because you and I, playing sports ourselves, we know that until you get that one good play under your belt, it's all you think about.
Got to get confidence. You got to have a light at the end of the tunnel moment of like, oh, all right, so this is how it's supposed to feel. All right, I can repeat this.
That much.
Yeah, now that I've got it, I know how to get it, and I'm going to go get it again.
Yeah.
Visualize and attack.
I pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Ooh, that deep voice.
Mr. Matthew McConaughey, my wife's heartthrob.
I was going to say, he's probably driving a Lincoln right now.
Probably. And my wife wishes she was in the passenger seat with him.
Probably. That'd
No,
be
not
all
probably.
right.
Not probably. Absolutely confirmed.
All right.
My wife would leave me for Matthew McConaughey in a heartbeat. In a second, it wouldn't matter.
I think every wife has the celebrity crush.
Well, don't we too? Don't the men?
Oh, that's very
I mean,
much
come
so.
on, man. Like
Very
who
much
are we
so.
lying? Who are you lying to? Every one of us has our celebrity crush.
Yeah, me's Katie Wingy.
Katie of Altitude TV.
Dude, I love her. She's just
pretty awesome. She is pretty awesome.
Just think about sitting across from the table from someone that can
you know,
school you in sports.
I wasn't expecting that. Like when you think celebrity, you think like famous singer, or you think like movie star. You think like national media. Jay's over here like local Denver media reporter.
It's a beat
Katie
writer
Wingy.
for the Nuggets.
You know what? I'm gonna get Katie Wingy on this show just for you, buddy.
She's so awesome.
I'm doing it. I'm
Apple of
serious.
my eye.
I'm gonna. Wow. I'm gonna hit up Katie Wingy. I'm getting her on the show just for you. Just for you. It's happening. All right. So again, I'm excited about Nick Bonito. I'm excited about Baron Browning. But I want to see Nick Bonito get his first one tonight. That way, from this moment on, that pressure, that feeling that he has to make it happen is out of the way.
Yeah.
And he can just go out there and play ball.
So I don't know if you want to do a quick pivot here, but I have another position that I'm really watching tonight. That
I'm sorry. Shadow says Helen Mirren. That's what's up.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Jay.
Is that like a Lord of the Rings Hobbit girl
no,
or something?
She's older, much older. She's British.
Oh.
Been in a lot of movies.
She can bake then.
Incredibly attractive as a young woman. Is a badass as an older lady. She was in the movie Red with Bruce. Not Bruce Wayne. Good Lord, Die Hard. Yeah.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis. Thank you. Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman and John Malkovich. She's been in a lot of things. I guarantee you, if you saw her, if I showed her to you, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, she's that kind of a person." But I guess I can't judge Shadow because that was me with Betty White. I'm just saying, old lady Betty White. I was like, be my wife.
Oh wow, you want a golden girl, huh?
Hey, she got a lot of gold.
That's true. I'm a B. Arthur person myself.
Oh, gross. That's okay. Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, it's good stuff.
I'm over it.
Okay, but hey, for real, another positional we got to talk about is the tight end room. Albert O, is he even going to play tonight? Is he suiting up? I mean, is he going to be in for one play of one drive?
It's sad to say, but I truly believe Albert O has completely lost the confidence of the coaching staff.
Well, I mean, we could have said that in the preseason. I get that. But there's a different thing of like, hey, we're not that confident in you, and we want to see you prove us wrong. And then there's another of sit on the pine, bud. I'm not even giving you a shot.
Well, that's what we've seen. That's what we saw against the Raiders. We didn't. I don't remember seeing 85 on the field once against
one play.
One time. Yeah.
He logged one play the entire game.
Yeah.
And this is also with one person on IR in that group. Like we're not deep at that position in and itself, and we're not giving him a shot. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
It was the Saubert Singleton show, or no, it was the Saubert show, basically.
Yeah, Tomlinson's still on, but Tomlinson is not a pass catching guy.
I meant Tomlinson, Singleton.
Yeah. I mean, he's a run blocker. That's why he's here. And you know what? Saubert's great and all, but like, he's not moving the needle. Like he's not striking fear into the defense's game plan.
Okay, here's how I look at those two.
Serviceable.
Here's what I want. Okay, right now, guys like Saubert look like Virgil Green.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
While what we need right now is a Julius Thomas to Peyton Manning out of the tight end position, or a Shannon Sharp to John Elway.
Yeah.
We need a tight end that can make some freaking plays. And I believe, and here's the thing. You know me and my Mizzou Tigers, MIZZOU, which, by the way, I'm going to give them another shout out. You missed this the other day. I'm going to give them another shout out. They did lose, but they came literally within minutes of downing the number one nationally rated Georgia Bulldogs.
Ooh.
On this last Sunday. They literally owned the Mizzou Tigers owned the game against the Georgia Bulldogs for 55 minutes and 46 seconds before the Bulldogs finally got to score enough to jump ahead of them by 2 points to win the game. So, you know what? Even though, ultimately in the end, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and it doesn't. And a win is a win, and a loss is a loss. My Mizzou Tigers came this close to knocking off the number one ranked Georgia Bulldogs, and so I want to give a huge shout out. MIZZOU, baby.
That's big. I mean, my team fired their coach, so hey, we're going different directions.
Your team is still my team in my heart. The only reason I go Mizzou is because I went there, but of course I grew up with you loving the CU Buffs. So, but he needed to be fired.
My wife is going nuts because the KU Jayhawks are undefeated. What kind of reality are we living in?
I know, it's disgusting. How does that happen?
I don't know. Anyhoozle.
All right, so
but
I'm so sorry, guys. I really had to get
just wrapping up tight end room. Theoretically, he could have came back tonight. I understand why he's not, but
I think
our savior Greg
Dulcich
should be back someday here, and those locks are gonna be flowing in the wind eventually. And I really think that's our guy. That's our Julius Thomas we're waiting for.
I hope so,
because he is a willing and able blocker, and that at the end of the day is why Alberto is in the doghouse. It's because he just is not. He doesn't want to play tight end. He wants to play wide receiver, and that's the thing. But
he's too big.
He's
too big to be a wide receiver.
No, of course. We're gonna see a perfect version of kind of what he could be. Like Mo Alley Cox is not a well-known name, but that is a tight end that catches everything thrown to him, and he is a red zone nightmare for the Colts. I hope we don't have to deal with him tonight. But he is one person that I would be a little afraid of from a middle standpoint.
At least thank God we have Jonas Griffith and
Josie
Jewell and K1 Williams that can really kind of. I mean, we've already seen them shut down guys like George Kittle pretty well. So
true.
I mean, I'm not too worried about
and Waller. It's not like Waller did anything last week.
True. Darren Waller. George Kittle, our middle of the field defense has been pretty good at shutting down those tight ends.
Kind of underrated. I haven't even sat back and really thought wow, back-to-back games are, we've given nothing up tight end wise.
Our boy Ty Y in the house. What's up, you guys? I'm late. Just got in, got to head home, get a shower before the game. Please do, buddy. I can smell you from here. Oh, that's Ty.
You're closer.
I know.
He's Pennsylvania, right? Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Ty's in Pennsylvania.
One of us has made a gross error.
Gross.
There you go.
It's fun.
There you go.
It's fun. It's so much fun. Anyway, he says, take me 20 minutes from my girlfriend's house. All right. Well, hey, we are only on for about another 10 to 11 minutes, buddy. So hopefully you can rock out with us in the car. So now, I guess let's talk keys to the game. All right. We talked a lot about the Raiders game. We talked a lot about what we hope for and expect tonight. Russ is going to cook.
Yes, he is.
I'm going to come out there and just say Russ found his rhythm. This offense is still looking for its identity, but I think we are this close. So really just this much to being right where we need to be.
Shadow Jack, I'm keeping this nickname. That is glorious. I have not heard that before.
You hadn't heard him.
The Kenny G reference?
No, you hadn't heard him called
No.
Kenny G. No,
I've heard the Weird Owl, Owl one.
I've heard Weird Owl. I've heard
Kenny G.
Kenny G. There was one more.
That's a good one.
There was one more. Oh, it was I can't remember now.
The kid from Workaholics.
Fabio. I'd heard the Fabio. The Fabio flowing locks.
I can see that.
Yeah,
he needs to straighten
more
his hair.
curls. Although he had more curls.
Yeah.
But it was the flowing locks. That's why he got that. They gave him that reference, was because the locks were flowing behind him.
His hair isn't on IR. I'll tell you
no,
that.
it's not. He only started doing that because of COVID.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, He said that in his introductory press conference when, of course, naturally the first questions asked of Greg Dulcich after we drafted him were, "Tell us about the hair, bud."
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
Open up. And he literally said that during the quarantine during COVID, he just decided not to cut it and let it grow out, and then he started realizing how glorious his own curls were, and was like, now I gotta find hair product to make it look, even better. And he just let it keep on growing. And now all the women want to do is eat it, I think, or something.
Okay. This is a kid's show, Johnny. Gosh.
So, bring back. Hey, it's not really a kid's show.
Damn it, Johnny!
It's a family-ish show. Shadow,
yes.
Bring back herbal essence. Oh yes. I want to see Greg Dulcich backwards riding on a horse.
Yeah!
Doing an Old Spice commercial.
I remember hearing those commercials back in the day.
Horse backwards? Yes, I am. Can your man look like me? No. Can he smell like me? Yes. And then that guy, real quick, funny story. I didn't realize this till recently. I love horror films. I absolutely love horror films. The guy from the Old Spice commercials, the just chiseled black dude that was just so cool.
Yeah.
Can your man look like me? No. Can he smell like me? Yes. That guy. He was the grown version of the black kid in It Chapter 2. I kept thinking this guy looks so familiar, but I can't figure out where it was until I recently saw the commercial come back on, and I was like, hey! He was in a horror film.
I'm not going to lie. I have not seen any of the new It's because I refuse to replace Tim Curry. Tim Curry is fond in my heart forever.
All right. Yeah, I know that this is a pregame show. We should stick to the Broncos, but I'm going to beg you right now, Jay. Beg you to please.
Check her out, huh?
Please. Bill Skarsgård is incredible as Pennywise the Clown.
Good stuff.
Just saying.
Okay. All right, I'll give her a chance. It is Halloween after all. I mean, we're in the thick of it here.
If you got HBO Max, they're both on there.
Well, there you go.
All right, yeah, I just watched them the other night. That's how I know. Oh, my beer is foaming over. Not good. No, stop it.
Holy guacamole.
All right. So, guys, it is time for us. Wait, do we want to do our Mile High menu first, or we want to do our bets?
Let's do a menu real quick.
All right. By the way, there will be a new transition video for the Mile High menu next week. I just couldn't get it done in time for today. So I've done a lot of work this week. So hang on. We got a comment here. They all float down here, Mr. Hanky.
That's great.
Mixing it and South Park. I love it.
It's great.
All right. Anyway, moving on to the Mile High menu. Jay.
The cook.
Yes, the cooks. And please, everybody, in the comments, if you're able, please let us know what your game day food is for today.
What you eating?
The Mile High menu is one of my favorite parts of the Get Bucks game day show.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Today, please enlighten us. What willst thou be feasting upon during tonight's routing of the Indianapolis Colts by the Denver Broncos?
So my wife Lindsay will love this because I'm the one that made the suggestion for family pizza night. Trying to make it easy on everybody, right?
Sure.
And then I went into the garage and looked in the freezer and saw that there was only one frozen pizza and 2 little personal pizzas. So I figured in my head, well, these 2 personal pizzas are perfect for my kids. And then, well, Lindsay's got a gluten-free pizza right there. So I might as well just order myself a pizza. So I got delivery pizza by myself, ordered exactly what I wanted, no kid pickiness, and I got myself a big old pie that's got a Italian sausage and pineapple. Love it,
Dude,
love it, love it.
It's so funny. This is how I know we're cousins. My pizza that I just finished a slice of and I've got more of for the game, in addition to what I'm making for the game, is pineapple, sausage, but then I added mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
Love
so
mushrooms.
There you go. That's how we know
go.
We're family right there. Sausage and pineapple. And then, of course, Jay would toss on the mushrooms if he had thought about it. And next time he gets it, he will.
I did do the garlic crust.
There you go.
I'll throw that in.
I mean, can you eat it any other way?
It's not additional.
All right. So we got, let's see. Anchovies, yay or nay?
Nay.
Yay.
Nay.
Not on pizza, but I'll eat them by themselves.
Gross. Disgusting.
I'll sit there and scoop them out of the can right into my mouth.
Grody.
Ooh, I've never tried this. Pineapples with jalapeno.
Ooh, jalapenos? I love jalapenos on pizza.
Dave Full Glassman says Wingstop. What flavor, Dave? What flavor?
Dude, Wingstop is awesome.
It is, but I don't have one anywhere near me, so I don't get to,
No. That's brutal.
Well, I live in a small town, dude. Like, I've got to drive like 45 minutes to anything. So
yeah, that comes to territory, I guess.
So granted, right now I'm in Missouri at my in-laws, but there's still no Wingstop here. There's a B-Dubs, but B-Dubs. Yeah. It's only good when you can go to the store and watch the games with a big group of people. That's the only reason to go to B-Dubs.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dave, tell us what flavor at Wingstop. Now, myself, I already said it. I've got a pizza that I already ordered. I've already eaten 2 slices of it. I'm saving some for the game. Wonderful. And like I said, that's pineapple sausage and mushrooms with a garlic crust. Wonderful pizza from Domino's. Love it. Generally, you guys know me, though. I try to make something myself every game. This week, it's trash can nachos.
Nice. Did you get them out of a trash can?
No. Trash can nachos is just basically everything thrown on there. So I'm cool. I'm sitting here, you got the chips, you got the nacho cheese, then I've got sour cream, guacamole, I've got pico de gallo, I've got bacon bits, I've got hot sauce, I've dumped on jalapeno slices, some green chilies, some extra 3 different kinds of cheese on top of the nacho cheese. Basically, the idea of trash can nachos is whatever you can think. You look in your refrigerator. You go by the basic nacho stuff, right? You go look in your fridge, and whatever you can think of to throw on the nachos, you do. A great way to clear out, a bunch of crap that you need to get out of your fridge. So that's what it is. Ooh.
Even gingerbread men.
Yeah, you're a monster. No, I won't go that far. You don't put nothing sweet on them nachos, baby. It better be as spicy as possible. So here we go. D-Rock says Oscar the Grouch nachos. Okay, except I'm very happy. I'm very happy with them. Shadow.
That's good.
Yeah. Mr. Dave Glassman says 5 atomic, 15 original hot, 20 lemon pepper, and 15 Louisiana rub.
Holy cow, how many wings do you eat?
Oh, it's probably between him and his son, honestly.
Okay, I was going to say, good Lord.
But still, the atomics. Whew.
Yeah, that's brutal.
There you go. All right, I love it. And the lemon pepper at Wingstop is the best lemon pepper wings I've ever had.
The lemon pepper is very good.
Yes. So, that being said, now it is time to place our bets.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it.
Those might have been some of the best beats we got here.
What do you think of the new transition for?
Dude, I love it.
Yeah,
I love that so much. Yeah, it is.
I was proud of that one.
Gets the people going.
It does. So, Mr. Professor of Perseverance, our friend, says, hello, friend. Hello, Professor. It is good to see you today. Happy game day. Happy Thursday and happy game day.
Yeah.
You, my friend. For those that need something or are ever looking for something to listen to, watch, go check out Professor of Perseverance on YouTube, especially if you're somebody who deals with a disability, because the professor, his entire world revolves around helping people with disability realize that their disability does not own them.
Need more people in the world like that.
So there you go. Go check out our friend Professor of Perseverance. That's my shout out for the professor today. So, all right. So we've already got some predictions jumping in. Oh, there we go. Dave says his son is turned 18 today. Had to take care of him. And it's him, a friend, and his wife.
Hey, happy birthday, little Glassman.
That's right. It's a very happy birthday to you, my friend. So, all right. We need to talk money. All right. Jay, please give us the rundown real quick on the spread and the over-under on this game.
All right, so we've got the Broncos tonight favored by 3, a -3 for Broncos, +3 for Indianapolis. So we are favored by 3 points a field goal. Over under 42, and I don't have this right next to me here, but I want to say that is the lowest over under we have had thus far this season.
I believe it is, yes.
So not that surprising, as usually Thursday night games are kind of wonky when it comes to spreads.
They're weird.
It is. It's either going to be a very high scoring game or it's going to be just terrible, low scoring, stuff that, we see typically on Thursday nights. But so we got -3 Broncos. We've got over under 42.
All right.
You want to start us off and what you're thinking on both those?
Sure. So I got the Broncos winning this one. And I got the Broncos covering.
Okay, good.
And over under, I'm going the under.
Okay.
Hang on.
42.
Doing some maths in my mental space hole here. I believe, I'm gonna go the under.
Yep.
Broncos cover the spread. And they win. The Broncos, I hold favored, and I believe Vegas is right, simply because both teams are in very, very similar situations, but the Broncos have home field advantage.
Yeah.
I think home field advantage is ultimately what pushes this over the top for Denver. That being said, final score, I predict, this is tough, 24. No, I'm going to go ahead and go 27. There we go. What was the over under 42?
42.
Ooh, I maybe have just shot myself in the foot with that one.
No,
what? I'm still going under. I'm giving it 27 to 17. I had it in my head for a second there.
You'd be over.
I'm sorry, I would be over. Go 14. 27 to 14. That was my original prediction. 27-14 Denver.
27-14 Denver.
Puts me under by 1 point. So Broncos cover the spread, win, and go under.
Okay. As much as this is a low number, I have a feeling it's going to be a low. I'm going unders tonight.
All right.
I'm going unders tonight because I think we are going to see the ball run a lot tonight. I fully expect the ground attack to be in full force. I fully expect to see a lot of Melvin Gordon. I think Melvin Gordon is going to have a big night. I think it's going to be a massive redemption story. I'm super excited to see, positive vibes out of that guy, because now we need it. We need that positive vibes out of him so much. Yeah. And as he goes the team right now from a pendulum standpoint. So excited to see that. So we got under, and I'm definitely taking Denver to cover. But I think I'm only gonna do like a 21-10 game. 21-10.
Cool.
Pretty low.
So we'll keep track. I said 27-14. Jay said 21 to 10.
21-10.
21-10. So you're under me by 6 points on the Broncos side of it. So minus 2 field goals or a touchdown without an extra point. We only had one prediction in the comments tonight, given us by the king of tonight's show, and that's Shadow Jacker, who's just been rocking with us all night long. He says 27-17 Denver, so he's taking the over.
He's right on the 27 for you.
Dave wants to know. He's asking for some parlay bets.
I've got.
He wants to know Melvin Gordon over or under on yards. Jay.
Yeah, I'm a degenerate, so I bet on all that stuff.
So what is it? What was it this time?
So it is over under 62.5, and that has jumped
Over.
since the beginning of the week because
Over.
it was, and I placed my bet, I want to say at 54 was mine. And I did over, obviously, and I would take the over on the 62.5 as well.
I would too.
He's going to get fed. If anything, he's going to get attempts. He's going to get chances in this game to do it. Super excited for that.
As long as he can keep the ball secure, the guy still gets, between 4.6 and 6.2 yards per carry.
Yeah.
So look, he is going, now that Javonte is out for at least the season, and knowing that injury, he could be out next season too, which makes me really just sad. And he may not even come back the same player. But unfortunately, Melvin Gordon is the bell cow of this offense for the running game now. So I go over as well. For
any degenerates out there that need a safe bet tonight, right now I am seeing Cortland Sutton at the exact same odds as Jerry Jeudy for receptions, which should never be.
It is not. It should.
We should obviously.
That's even on.
That's crazy.
A parlay is disgusting.
That's nuts. And it's over under 4.5. So there ain't no way Cortland Sutton's not going to get 5 catches tonight. So plug that into whatever you want. I haven't rolled anything on Jeudy because Judy's a wild card, but Cortland Sutton is, he wakes up with 8 catches. So I'm all good with that.
Sure. Right? So that does it right there for our very first official segment of You Want to Bet.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money line. I'ma run it.
And I don't know. Look at Jacob.
Love it, dude. Oh my gosh. Got those beats dropping.
I don't know if you're really paying attention to the song that I used, but that's one of my my songs that I have royalty free rights to.
Oh really?
Yes. And I don't know if you really were listening, but he's singing Money Line. So
that's awesome, dude.
I literally did that. I literally designed that with that song just for you, buddy.
Nice.
So
love it.
Money Line.
It's good stuff.
So I'm going to do it one more time. Here, listen.
Money line. I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money line. I'ma run it.
Oh, my bad. Still working it out.
Go with the pendulum. Might have a fire starter, a lawnmower starter there. There's plenty of things we could do here. I think he's rolling the dice too much. All he's doing is rolling the dice.
Throw it away. Throw it away. Don't ever do that again.
I hope we're going to be this happy after the game.
Look, we are. We believe it.
It's going to happen.
Believe it, Broncos Country.
It's on my vision board.
It's in my hope chest. All right. It's part of my 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm. It's my SMART goal.
There you go. All right, Jay. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and roll out of here. So we have about 40 minutes or so to prepare for this game, this onslaught in Denver at home. Thank God. All right.
Get some pregame in, guys, because I love prime time Bronco games. It's so fun. There you go, man.
So there you go. I don't have any whiskey tonight, though. So
that's all right. We'll have to, keep on the Isaiah tradition somehow.
Well, you're going to have to toss me a bottle then because I can't afford it. I'm currently between jobs. You know that. I can't afford a bottle of whiskey right now. I can barely afford beer. Anyway, So there it is. Guys, here we go. It is game night. Second time in the last 7 days. Within 5 days. Second time within 5 days we're getting to watch our Broncos hit that field. Let's go out there. Let's get that win. Guys, I'm pumped. We love you, Broncos Country. Catch us after the game. All right? Be watching. Hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Catch us after the game for the Buck Your Feelings. By the way, that's the ring finger. That's what we do on Buck Your Feelings. You can see it there. The ring finger. The Buck Your Feelings post-game show. We will see you after the game, guys. Let's ride.